Right, welcome to a whole new pile of Star Wars fuckery. Star Wars confirms that Palpatine was a clone. Oh, Palpatine. He was a clone, was he? Was he really now? Was he? Since when? Since Disney needed the novelisation to explain stuff, to make their movie not look retarded. I like novelizations. I really do. Hate it when a novelisation is used as damage control, such as this. This is damage control, ladies and gents. This is damage control because the movie did not make no sense. And also, funnily enough, now he's a clone, I'm going to have to make some pickled Palpatine shirts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, oh, what's this? Got some pickled Snoke shirts. Grab one at my Teespring store. The best design ever. Why was it pickled Snoke? Because he literally showed up in a bloody jar, didn't he? Looking like a right tit. Anyway, yeah, I like novelizations, but a prime example of novelizations which are used to explain things in substandard films. Because ultimately, ladies and gents, if a novelization is there to explain stuff in your film, it means that your film has failed on a narrative level. It means that you didn't write a good script. If your film doesn't explain all of the very essential plot points, or maybe like Palpatine coming back, it's failed. It has ultimately failed. If I have to read literature to understand your movie has failed. And I like movies that don't explain everything. I like that. But this is an important element, which has now then been explained away in expanded literature. So that means the film failed on a narrative level. But let's check it out, right? Bearing in mind, did anyone get the hint that he was a clone? That's not hinted at in the movie, is it? And we'll get into it because we've got the quotes from him in here, right? The novelisation of Star Wars, The Rise of... Fuck, I can't believe that. Oh, The Rise of Skywalker confirms that Palpatine was in fact a clone. The Disney-era Star Wars has frequently used novelizations to tie up loose ends from the films themselves. In the case of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, the film had a startling number of plot holes that writer Ray Carson will surely be hoping to navigate. Now, marketing for Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker had emphasised the unexpected return of Emperor Palpatine, and moviegoers were eager to learn how Darth Sidious had survived his death in Return of the Jedi. Well, yeah, no shit. Remarkably, the film avoided explaining it at all. Oh my god! And this is the quote, right? This is what he said, okay? Because the Emperor just went, fuck, don't matter, mate. Who cares? Literally don't matter. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some would consider unnatural. Rise, my apprentice. I did that on the lead up to Rise of Skywalker so much, but haven't done it for a while. The Rise of Skywalker. Right, anyway. There's going to be so many people annoyed that I've done that again. But anyway, he observed it's generally been assumed that Carson's novelisation will shed a bit more light on the matter. So I can't believe it! Oh my god! I want to rip my face off with this stupid piece of shit news. So when he said... The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities that one would consider unnatural. No one thought he's a clone, of course he is. No one thought that. Because I'm pretty sure there's words to the effect of like he's literally all of the Sith and he's essentially everything and he's lived for like 1,000 years. Or, do you know what I mean? Like all this nonsense, right? There were words to that effect in the film. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I didn't bother watching it again because it's a piece of crap. But no one thought, oh yeah, he's been pickling himself, hasn't he? He's been ramming himself in jars and making other versions of himself. No one thought that. And I tell you, I think the most malicious part about all of this is what they've done here. Because a lot of people will be screaming at the screen going, Mr. H, but there's a precedent for this. Yes, there is. But does anyone remember what Kathleen Kennedy had said about these movies? That there's no source material. And I said, at the time, that's bollocks. Because there's source material that they've literally been ripping off. And the most egregious thing is that they've done it again here. Because yes, there is a precedent for it. In fact, it's pretty much like it's an expanded universe novel that he made clones of himself. And they're just stealing it non-stop. But I bet... I wonder if the original creators of those storylines copped any royalties. I bet you they didn't. Bet you they didn't. Unbelievable. Now, although the novelization isn't officially on sale until March 17th, Lucasfilm Publishing decided to sell advanced copies at this weekend's C2E2 in Chicago, and passages have begun appearing online. The book does indeed confirm that the Emperor's spirit has been transferred into a clone body. When Kylo Ren arrives on Exegol and encounters Palpatine, he looks closely at the machinery the Emperor is physically attached to and recognises it from his studies of the Clone Wars. He then deduces that Palpatine's dark side spirit is too strong for the clone body and is causing serious degeneration to it. Oh, he just popped that out of his brain, did he? Here's the quote. All the vials were empty of liquid save one, which was nearly depleted. Kylo peered closer. He'd seen the apparatus before, too, when he'd studied the Clone Wars as a boy. The liquid flowing into the living nightmare before him was fighting a losing battle to sustain the Emperor's putrid flesh. Not really a living nightmare, is it? He looks in better shape here than he did when he died. He looked like a shriveled maggot when he died. He's looking pretty sprightly here. What? Just a side note. His clone bodies... Whatever. Fuck this film. What could you give me? Kylo asked. Emperor Palpatine lived after a fashion, and Kylo could feel in his very bones that this clone body sheltered the Emperor's actual spirit. What would it be sheltering then, mate? What else would it be sheltering? It was an imperfect vessel, though. And also, if it's a clone body... This is so... It opens up so many more plot holes, right? Okay, because ladies and gents, he was Snoke, right? So, had he been inside Snoke? Was the spirit inside Snoke? If so, Luke Skywalker would have sensed it. Okay, so would have Leia. Literally everyone would have gone, that's the Emperor, mate. That's Emperor Palpatine. They would have. Because obviously he said, I've been Snoke, I've been every voice inside your head, right? One of them was Snoke, I was Snoke. So, was Emperor Palpatine's spirit in Snoke for a little bit? If so, how did that work? Because he wasn't degrading, he'd been around for a while actually. Snoke had been around for quite a while. So that leaves a plot hole about Snoke, doesn't it? It does. Yes, it does. Because if it's not, and it's an actual being that they've cloned, then how was he the voice inside his head? How was he Snoke? That doesn't make any sense. If he's Emperor Palpatine, what happens to... Do they just clone bodies? Can you just clone bodies in this universe without any consciousness? Because then if they can do that, right? How did they make the clone troopers? Because they all had spirits in them, didn't they? Do you see what I mean? Like, oh my god, it just falls apart the more you think about it. Fuck off. God. Honestly. Sodomized this film with a pineapple. Unbelievable. Anyway, unable to contain his immense power, it couldn't last much longer. So there you go, look. There are striking similarities between Palpatine's canon resurrection and his return in the old expanded universe. Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker, Tom Veitch's Dark Empire miniseries saw Palpatine return, his spirit migrating to a clone body, and he constructed a vast army that incorporated sophisticated superweapons. They just stole it from there. George Lucas loved Dark Empire. He considered it the closest thing to his idea of a sequel trilogy, and gave copies to Lucasfilm employees as a Christmas present. The key difference, however, is that in Dark Empire, the clone body was actually able to contain the Emperor's spirit. It looks like Lucasfilm employees have just been ripping off Dark Empire. I hope you get some royalties from this, Tom. Exposure to the dark side of the Force has always been a prominent effect on the physical body, causing an advanced form of decay. That's why many Sith Lords appear cadaverous, because the stronger they become in the dark side, the more notable its effect. Blah, 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 blah. This film is total poo. It's total poo. There you go. It was a clone. If you didn't grab any of my Pickled Snoke merch, they are only available for a very limited time now, so please do go and grab yourself one. I'm probably going to make some Pickled Palpatine shirts now, so I hope you enjoy them as well. Would you buy one? Let me know down below. Anyway, for links to all of that stuff, check out down below in the comments in the description box. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Thank you so much. Take care.